Live from the Jersey Shore. It's your friend and mine, Schmuel Buckman. And we're getting set up. Here, kids. Sorry. We were supposed to go much earlier. But then the dog said, I need to poop. And I forgot that I'm alone and responsible for him this week. And the missus usually walks him in the evening. So thanks for waiting. And I think that intro is way too long, but Echo Pineapple told me the longer the intro, the better, or so I've been told. Hope everybody's good tonight. I'm waiting for a sneeze to erupt. So if I look strange, well, I look strange anyway. So if I look strange, that's why. Amazing day, beautiful day here at the shore. And I love it. Have to go back to the Big Apple tomorrow. Not looking forward to it, but it is what it is. And Johnny Payton, number 8. Good evening, my friend. It's always good to see you in the chat. And I'm happy you're here. Let's take this off. It's a little bit warm. And I think we have the doors open. So Oh shit, but I don't have an ashtray, so we may have to get up and get one in order to smoke cigars. And then we have to spend tomorrow, I'm leaving here in the afternoon, we have to spend tomorrow morning figuring out how to get the smell of cigar smoke out of the house before the wife gets back. In any event, I will say this. Good evening, Art. Art Shimko. Art, I imagine that that's probably not your real name, but in my world, which is Queens, New York, I deal with people of all languages, and I have worked very hard in my adult life to pronounce names properly. Not the easiest thing to do, particularly when they're like Warantasuparp, but I'll do my best. But welcome, Art. And as you know, my name's Schmuel, and it's Tuesday night, and I completely fucked up. So we're supposed to go live at 7 o'clock. And I swear to God, I read that there was no Tukey Soup tonight, because that's like ridiculous to go up against Tukey Soup, because I just don't do it. And I'm not a dummy. Well, I thought he said he was going Wednesday. And I realized he's on. So we probably will be limited in views tonight, because when Tuke goes on, he goes on for quite a long time. And to be honest, if I weren't watching me, I'd be watching them as well. So I've also been told never mention the people that are on the air against you. But I'm a rule violator. Oh, so we've got an interesting lineup tonight. Crumb, if you're listening to this, get your ass in here, because we might have some fucking cool people popping in. So to expose the fourth wall, the way that your friend Schmuel does this is we prepare a topic. We are consistent in that we go live every Tuesday and Thursday. Crumb is co-hosting with me today because Dave Sarah's off. I'm flipping my legal pad. That's what the noise is. But I also have a bunch of people that I invite, and if they can make it, we have them on. And tonight, I have been assured that we're going to have a visit from one Pat Dixon, a fucking comic hero of mine. And also TV's Will Heron will stop by. Luigi Greenberg is around. He may join us. And let me just text Pat. Because we want to get this, I don't get these guests all the time. After 9:30 and before 11. Don't want to compete. I don't know if you can hear that behind me, but my dog is losing his mind because he wants to go to bed. And I'm also a softie, so I may have to get up and give him a snack. So that's the deal. Frank, I'm a few minutes behind. You don't look strange, Schmuel. Thank you. Just old and falling apart, right? So we all hear I know we can all hear the dog. I certainly can. He gets very weird at this time of night. So it's either he wants to go to bed, so he scratches, because he likes to be brought up to the third floor. Not carried, but walked up with, and then he gets in his crate. And sometimes he just goes, or he's very hungry. So if I have to get up, I may have to get up. But I'm hoping to have a co-host here first. So that's the deal. Well, obviously this is no Tukey Soup or WATP or any of the other professional shows. It's not a show. It's just a stream, and we hang out, we talk, and we go over some events. and I do some Schmuel things. So I spend my days working. I'm kind of semi-retired, so I don't have to work as much as I used to. A- And I work, I listen to stuff on YouTube, I listen to podcasts, and I generally read the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times every day. And today, it's been mostly listening to YouTube and reading weird stories. So the thing that interests me the most at the moment is how Kumia has really made a comeback, right, on AM radio, which I have some thoughts on, but how Kumia's made a comeback on AM radio, and he's been, what is the word, kids? It's not franchised, but whatever the word is, syndicated. So he's been syndicated in 350 places, and apparently he's doing great. And the numbers for WABC look great. But at the same time that Anthony is coming back and making waves in right wing radio, right wing podcasters are suffering some of their most serious declines. Now, if we'd had this conversation a year or so ago, I would have been talking about left wing podcasters and their crap. And so this is not a political statement, but the looks like the Trump gravy train has ended for these guys, because you can't sit around saying, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim of the woke left, when you won the election and the world is changing your way. And I have a couple of personal grievances with these guys. My first personal grievance is I don't like anybody that podcasts from a home studio with an American flag. Look, an American flag sticker, a small flag, I got it. But if you've got that American flag on the pole and all that stuff behind it, you're trying to sell me bullshit. That's my thing. You don't want me to watch you because you're talented. You want me to watch you because I agree with you, or I don't know, you're somehow I'm patriotic. I'm or unpatriotic if I don't watch you, and that's bullshit. Annoys the hell out of me. And I do give Mr. Kumia a pass because Mr. Kumia has an actual studio. And Frank, nay. Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to pick on her necessarily, but I don't. I look. I think it's bullshit. I really do. It's like, stop with this crap. And what's been really interesting is I don't know if you guys heard of the show The Quartering, but he's another one of these guys. I guess he's down in Texas. I don't know if he's originally from Texas or he moved there. Is that dog really annoying? But he's been selling Trump recipe books, and he's got a coffee brand. And the coffee brand has essentially shit the bed. So it's not that, oh, my coffee brand sucks. It's that the woke left is destroying the family company. And as a guy who's been in business for a really long time, you can go up against the big guys, but the method that you do it is you do it as the fly on the camel's back, right? Oh, excuse me, the fly on the elephant's back. And you walk in and you ride the elephant, but you don't directly compete with them because it's not going to work. Not unless you got something amazing or unique or different. But no offense, coffee is coffee. And having it, blessed by the bishop of the right changes nothing for me. So I'm going to continue to talk, but I got to get up. I got to get up and I got to give the dog something, or else we're never going to get through this podcast. So keep listening just for a second. And we will, because I have them right on top of the fridge, and I would just turn the background off and walk over there. But if I turn the background off and Mrs. Buckman found out what this place looks like, I would be in even deeper shit than I would be for smoking cigars in the house. So that's not going to happen. And NJ Ranger, I love that little guy too. And but let's give him a treat, and that will calm him down, and then we all won't be driven crazy. So speak amongst yourselves for a minute. I realize that I'm plugged in, so I have to actually take the headset off, and I can yell as I'm going, so maybe you'll hear me. But yes, NJ Ranger. And NJ, if you're around, send me a DM. I'd like to send you a link. Even if we can't do tonight, I'd like to have you on at some point. You're one of my dream guests. I have several, and I have some news on that as well. But I'm really super excited that Dixon said he would come on. And but Pat runs his own show. He's got a lot of shit to do to get prepared for it. So I don't know what the deal is, but he's, like I said, he's my comedy favorite. I've rarely seen a guy have the talent that Dixon has to just make anything funny and write a quality joke on the spot. I saw him this past summer, up in it's not the Comedy Cove, which I think went out of business. He was like one of the last performers, and he picked up a newspaper. He picked up the New York Post, and there was an article about penis cancer. And Pat Dixon turned a crowd of old people into their it was amazing. I couldn't stop laughing. And it was one of the few times when Mrs. B and I went to see a comedian, and she really liked him, and she really liked the creativity of him. So that's it. And I got a dog jumping up on me because he knows there's a salmon jerky in his future, but I was trying to get him close enough to pick him up, put him on screen. We can dox a dog, right? Yeah? Yeah. So this dog has been to Dabbleverse events, right, buddy? Right? So I know playing with your dog is annoying. And but I've been doing it long before Kumia. This guy's 11. So giving him a little jerky there, and let's see what happens. He knows me. And last night we had a little doggy emergency. He got fed, he got walked. We went for a nice long walk. We did all this stuff. And I did the stream at 12:30 in the morning with the Aussie guy, who was another one of my dream guests. So it was fantastic to have him on. And I go upstairs to go to bed, and the dog is crying. Like crying. And this dog is quiet. Just a very quiet dog. Can bark, but doesn't make a lot of noise. And the poor guy was losing his mind. And he was crying, and it was obvious he needed a toss, but he couldn't or wouldn't or whatever. And it was just, and I felt so bad for him. So I was reaching the point where I was going to stick my finger down his throat. And I decided maybe I'll take him for a walk. So I get to the front door, and I realized that I had a Walmart delivery, and I left the Walmart bag on the inside of the door. And in the bag were 2 packages of gluten-free tortilla wraps. Well, old Coach decided that he needed to get into it, and not something he normally does, but he ate one of the bags of tortilla wraps, plastic and all. So that was the deal. And what I love about dogs is we got one out, which would normally make him feel better. Seemed fine for a minute. Then he started crying again, and upset. And I rubbed his stomach. I was going to make him puke. And then he did it on his own, a little one, more plastic, more tortilla wrap. And then he was fine. And then because I was up, I decided to have a little chicken. And Nuke the Chicken, and Mr. I'm crying my eyes out and you know, have to get through. I just terrible, making me feel bad. Was like, hey man, I'll take some chicken. So the life of a dog, especially a good guy like this guy. Yeah, so he's been to Dabbleverse events, and I say like we have a 50-foot indoors and 500-foot outdoor restraining order. So Rob Saul can't come near me. We wouldn't want him near the dog. And I blew that joke, didn't I? There you go, buddy. All right, let's see if that calms him down. So hopefully I did. This is very funny. The pretty antisocial gals were going to, one of them was going to hop on, but I ran too late, and contrary to popular opinion, she's a good parent and can't do it on a weeknight. So I'm all with that. All right, I want to run through this. Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid. Hey, Schmuel, comments on Gino's drunken moment yelling at Kiki. I talked about that last night. We did that at the very end of the show because I wanted to kind of focus on non-Dabbleverse stuff with Dean from Australia because he's a very funny and interesting guy on his own. Where he lives, he's in Perth, which is like the end of the world. And you have to look at, if you ever look at a map of Australia, it's huge. It's almost the size of the United States. It might even be a little bit bigger. But then look at the population. And like, I don't know if it's 90% of the population is centered around Sydney. And the rest of the country's kind of empty. But Perth is a city, and it's all the way on the west. And it really is sort of the end of the world. So you got to find out about Perth. Frank, why do people say she's a bad mom? People don't say she's a bad mom. Gino and Kiki say she's a bad mom because Gino and Kiki are bereft of any comedic talent, and they need something to own these people with. So, Dan, getting back to your comment, I don't know if you guys have seen the clip. I don't think I'm going to play it, or maybe I will. But my personal opinion was I felt terrible for Kiki. And that's not a person that I normally feel bad for. I think she's kind of like made her bed and she's lying in it. I heard the Baumert phone call the other day. And if you guys haven't heard that, you need to hear it. And I'm not going to go into it, but I will say that I can confirm that what Bauman heard from a doorman, I've heard from other comedians in New York City and people close to these guys. So you can look that up. In any event, I felt terrible for Kiki. She is, by all measure, the story of Jason Scoop beating her and kicking her and breaking her wrist, et cetera, is true. From what I've been told, based on some stuff I've seen on court records, talking to 2 other women that dated the guy. So Gino goes into this fucking insane drunk rage. Kiki cowers, and I can't imagine what was going through her mind. Like, is the next step he starts smacking her around? And Larry Bea, who's in the studio, was trying to calm Gino down. But I'm like, thank God that guy was there. And when Larry asks Gino why he went so crazy, don't quote me. I might be paraphrasing, but I don't think I am. I think I'm being pretty goddamn accurate. Gino said, because she's fucking stupid. And, man, imagine that. Like, you start dating this guy. He's got a radio show or a compound show or whatever. Thinks he's got thousands of viewers. Thinks he has pull. thinks he's changing people's opinion. And he was making money. Wasn't making great money by any stretch of the imagination, but he was making decent money. And then he loses his job. You marry him, and he has zero prospects, zero. And I don't follow him that closely, but I do follow who's a comedian and who's coming up and where they're performing. And I don't see Gino that much being listed anywhere, but I do see them doing the secret shows at Rodney's. And Rodney's has really got a reputation for, I think they're called showcases, but I could be mistaken. But essentially, what they are is a producer puts on a show, and then he makes a deal with the club, whether it's tickets or food, but usually it's something to do with tickets. They get to keep the tickets and they get to bring the people in. And the producer then pays the comics. It's not like the club pays the comics. And there is a woman named Gladys whose last name escapes me. And Gladys used to run. You might have heard Kevin Brennan talk about it. It was called Hamburger Harry's. And so Hamburger Harry's was in the back of Hamburger Harry's was a restaurant in Times Square in the 40s somewhere, east of Times Square. And in the back of Hamburger Harry's, they had a showroom. And Gladys put on shows there. And it was like an open mic thing and whatnot. And I know it intimately because I performed there in one of these things. And learned very quickly that, thank you, Jeff Remains, produce shows. Learned very quickly that being an open mic comic was not for me because I couldn't deal with, I'm not going to be treated that way. And it was like at Stand Up New York. I got some time at Stand Up New York, and then the fucking guy wanted me to like help seat people or something. And I'm like, dude, I want to perform. I don't want to be a waiter. And in any event, circumstances, more of my own doing than anybody else's doing, stopped me from doing stand up. Mostly because I sucked is probably the real reason. But in any event, so Gladys ran these open mics, and I don't think we had to pay, but I think her deal was that she would see you there, and then if she thought you could do something, she would then promote you, like she wanted to be a manager or whatever. Well, now, and it's 30 years later, maybe 25 years later, Gladys is still doing these. She does the shows at Rodney's, and she charges the comics. And I think you pay $5 or $10, and your name goes in a hat. And that's how they pull it out. But then she decides what she's going to do. So Jeff Remains called them produce shows. Mud Sharks Unite called them bringer shows, where a comic has to bring a certain number of people. Those are actually different. Those are Stand Up New York used to do. Every club used to do them, except like the Cellar maybe. And yeah, you would have to, if you wanted to get stage time, you had to bring 3 people or 5 people, depending upon what it was. And those shows oftentimes were produced too. There is a female Asian comic who I recognize but don't know her name, who still performs, and she used to run a lot of those shows. And I don't know. I could ask people to go to 1 or 2, but beyond that, it's like, I don't know if you guys know about Primerica. Primerica is an insurance company. They used to be called something else, but they're basically like a multi-level insurance company. But what they do is they get you in and they get you to sell insurance to your entire family. And then they keep wanting you to get those people to then sell insurance, and it was exactly that way with these shows. It was like, oh, this person can bring a lot of people. That's how they would get stage time. And I will say that there were a lot of women performers, and it might have had something to do with their ability to bring people, but very, very sort of kind of a rack. But every club does it. It's not just that's not what's going on here with Gladys and the Rodney's thing. But she puts these shows together, people pay, the name goes in a hat, but of course, there's always been talk that that if you put in, I think I'm going to say it was $5 just to be reasonably accurate. It was 5, but if you happen to put in 20, you might get better stage time. And so, yes, on a bringer show, Dr. Chow, the Mega J, their ability to get people, it's one of the things that they do. We can talk about how comedy clubs get people. I'm not sure if you've heard of the term barking, but we'll answer that in a second. NJ Ranger 201 sounds like Pat David's racket. I don't know who he is, but I would imagine it's a racket. So I equated that, this stuff, I equated that to, if you, not that you guys know much about Keanu, but she announced months and months ago that she had a podcast deal with a podcast network. And essentially, it's the same thing. You bring people and we'll promote you. Very much, it very much feels to me like a multi-level marketing thing. Do we know what's the is Amway still a thing? Like Amway was a thing when I was a kid, right? You'd bring people in. So yeah, that's the way a lot of comedy was. And then there were guys that were barkers. And these guys are amazing because I didn't have the balls to do it. 2 things that I have not been able to do in my life are cold calling. Cold calling would suck the life out of me. Couldn't do that, which is kind of, well, we'll get into that another time. But couldn't do cold calling and could not do barking. And these guys, they stand out on the street. They've got like a lanyard, a real quality lanyard, like a Chad lanyard. And they'll be like, snapping the things, and they'll be stopping you. And they, oh, if you've got a, trying to get you into the comedy club, and they're stopping tourists and stuff, and you get stage time for it. Now, there are a lot of successful comedians who were barkers, but I couldn't do it. I could not make the transition from having been the guy out on the street barking to the guy then going up on stage. But we can get back to that. Dr. Chow, the Mega G. I saw a bunch of Mexicans at some convention for Herbalife in Chicago once. So Herbalife is very big in the Latin American community, and it's backed by a big private equity guy who I can't remember his goddamn name. And it's not just that I'm old, but it's an old story. And Herbalife, the federal government, FTC, wanted Herbalife to be, people called it a pyramid scheme. And apparently you're not allowed to call it a pyramid scheme. And anybody that did call it a pyramid scheme, this guy really went after. And his last name begins with an A, maybe Atwood, Atkins, something like that. And he'd invested a lot of money in Herbalife. And then people started to come out with, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a pyramid scheme. And this guy really lost his mind. In any event, everybody was like, oh, he's going to lose all his money, But he wound up making money. And if you drive through neighborhoods, particularly Hispanic neighborhoods, you will see little storefronts that have a little sign in it, and they're Herbalife stores. And you go in and they'll make you their shakes and shit, and they'll try to sell you their products. And one of their big sales pitches was, and you always knew when somebody was coming up to you with this button on that your life was going to flash before your eyes, which is, you can lose weight now. Ask me how. And it was the Herbalife products, and they were just overpriced vitamins and shakes and stuff. As a matter of fact, by the number 7 train station in Woodside and the E and F station on Roosevelt Avenue, which are two very Spanish neighborhoods, there's actually people that sell shit, and there's Herbalife sales. So it's like you can buy your nutritious shake and your fake perfume all in the same place. Deitois. Cold calling gives me so much anxiety flashbacks. Deitois, it made me talk about anxiety. I didn't really know what it was, but I would break out into cold sweats, and I couldn't do it. And I sat next to a guy, good-looking African-American guy, in this bullpen, and I liked the guy so much, man. And he would sit down at the thing, and he would take out like a folding mirror, like, a women's makeup mirror, 5x8 or some shit like that. And he would put it down in front of him. So he always remembered to smile, and he would sit down, and this guy would bang out cold calls, one after another, after another. And he made a shit ton of money, and bless him for doing it. But I needed to find another way. I just couldn't do that. And if any of y'all are fans of Doug Stanhope, Doug did that for years, and he's got great stories about being in cold calling, telemarketing, and whatnot. But I couldn't do it. Just couldn't fucking do it. And in any event, hit the like button. Just throw that in there. And let's just run through some of the chat. My best friends can't get enough of barking. Gee. Yeah. So my doggy that you saw earlier is a Shiba Inu, and they don't bark unless they have to. And it's great because they can bark like mofos. But they just don't really do it. And very cool dogs. Shed like a bitch, but doing it. Deitois, I had to sit in my boss's office making cold calls for 2 weeks. So yeah, I went to, I took a job with Prudential Insurance for not what I thought it was going to be, basically. And yeah, I was not making my cold calls, and they had me and another guy sit there and make cold calls, and the boss was watching us, and I got up and walked out. I wasn't going to do it. Couldn't do it. Wasn't going to do it. And it's part of. I still have it now. It's part of the. When I stream, when I was doing solo streams in the beginning, I would be like, nobody fucking wants to listen to me. I'm annoying them, and it would just come back to me, and all I could imagine making those cold calls was interrupting people at dinner. And I did work for a while for the Harris poll. They were a big polling organization. I guess they're still around. And we used to call people and do telephone polls. And even that was a bit freaky because every now and then, most of the polls were like political, or around the time of the Oscars, you'd be polling people to get their Oscar choices and shit like that. And it was fine. But every now and then they'd have like one where it was a poll for a product that was complicated, like some financial services product, a retirement thing. And it was a legitimate poll. It wasn't selling people, but everybody thought it was. And they used to hang up on you. And the way they conducted this poll was it had like 50 questions. And they never, to my recollection, ever got through a full poll in one call. It was always like you would come in, you would get who you were going to call and what you were going to call for, and you would always get stuck with this financial services thing, and you'd have to call back. And you'd call back and you'd say who you were. People would still hang up on you. And or they would answer a few questions and then they'd start yelling at you. What are you selling me? What are you selling me? So we've gone off the grid. Yeah, Doug is great. Yeah, Doug is great. He's the only comic I've seen more than 2 times. Stanhope is amazing. He's one of the people that I equate to a guy like Dixon, who can just he just knows how to turn a story into something that's really comical and shit situations. And, I got to love Doug Stanhope mostly because he moved to Bisbee, Arizona to get away from a bunch of shit. And he loves buying discounted meat. He's the guy that goes back there, and the stuff that's got the manager's discount. Guy's probably got more money than God, but he loves to buy the discounted meat. And I just, for some reason, just found that hilarious. And, I like to think that I'm above it, but even I went and then was like, oh, Doug buys it. I'll give it a try. And it's generally okay. I do not recommend the discounted sushi, though. I can guarantee that that's not a great thing. Mr. Blue Sky. I saw Doug Stanhope in Bergen, Norway. Wow. And Stanhope probably does very well in Europe, I would imagine, because he's a European kind of comic. If you've ever seen Greg Proops, who's from the U.S., but he does better in England and Europe because he's got their type of comedy. We tend to do a lot of punchline setup, tag, kind of thing. And these guys are more storytellers and really, really good at it. And Stanhope knows how to do the mix. So I guess I should go back to this because I don't really want to talk about it, but I will. The Gino situation to me is just sad, right? I watched he and Berg on Compound. I dug he and Berg on Compound. I saw Aaron changing. Aaron wanted to do stuff. Wow. I am honored. The great Pat Dixon. I was just comparing you to Doug Stanhope, my friend.
Yeah, I know. I heard that, and I was like, I can't come on now, but Jesus, dude. Anyway, thanks for having me on. Show's really getting better and better, and I'm glad to see it's getting a lot more appreciation.
Thanks. I'm always nervous about biting. I don't want to invite guys like you on because I always feel like you feel bad saying no, but I always expect a no.
I wouldn't feel bad.
I know you wouldn't. That's the problem. I wrote you one time something, a text, and I said something like, I don't think there's like any room for ugly old men on YouTube, and the normal response would be, oh, you're not ugly. And you were like, yeah, well, what can I tell you? So,
I figured you were including me on that, so
you're a good-looking guy. Every time I've seen you, the women are just flocking towards you.
Please, those days are over. That was in my 40s. Those days are over. Now I just get people saying like, "Hey, I want to thank you for that thing you did."
You go through I try to explain to these young people, you go through stages with women in your life. And the first stage is they either look at you, then they don't look at you. And then you get to the later stage, which is where they look through you and don't even see you. And that's the stage that I am at.
Yeah, it's the gray-haired stage.
Yeah. Well, just like the old man stage, because then it's like everything you do, which you would have done 10 years ago and was fine, now seems creepy. So you can't do it anymore.
I don't know though. To an extent, it goes the other way too. Like you could probably ask, some girl to help you find your puppy, and she's gonna just believe you.
Give her a lollipop in the truck.
Yeah. and it'll be like, yeah, of course. I mean, like, I think you get to a certain age where helping somebody across the street, not you helping somebody. Never mind, forget it. I mean, like, you may be right. Maybe everything just gets creepy.
Yeah, I don't know. We live in. I don't have any kids, so I haven't had that. Like, I don't have that experience. So I don't have the experience of seeing kids very young age and then adult and all that. So and I think everybody's creepy. So then I just assume that everybody thinks I'm creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
but Mr. Blue Sky, the Dabbleverse is very hard competition looks wise. You have to look like fruits and veggies to get ahead. That's very funny. And perhaps at a certain age, women don't even like you sniffing them anymore. It's weird. Hey, I don't know. Got a guy elected president. Um, so there's that. So what's going?
They don't want you sniffing them even from a distance. Like, they have some nice perfume on, and they're like, don't, no, you don't inhale right now. Like, it's like, not you, even if you're not making. I mean, that's a funny idea. Maybe I'm just extrapolating down that for no reason. You were saying,
I was saying that you've met Mrs. Buckman, and you know Mrs. Buckman, and Mrs. Buckman and I are here at the Jersey Shore, and during the summer, most of the bars down here have bands, and they usually have one band that goes on at about 6, and that's the old classic rock and roll kind of old people thing. And whenever we go in and I walk away, I always come back and there's always 3 guys trying to chat up Mrs. Buckman, and it's just hilarious because so last summer we're doing that and some guy's there and he's just chatting away and he's all excited, because she's very personable and whatnot. And I ask her, I give her the finger and I'm like, come here for a sec. And she leans over and I give her a kiss. And she says, oh, that's my husband. And the guy he just had the look of disgust, like, you could have done much better, woman. You could have done much better. But
yeah,
very funny.
yeah.
So that's the deal.
Yeah, women, like, they have a lot of deniability there too. That's fine for a situation like that, and there's never any problems with some woman just fending off or getting attention or stuff like that. But like an ongoing situation is different. That's what you get into younger. I think women in their 30s, they'll try to convince you that they don't know what the fuck's going on, and that that all men's intentions are just, hey, wait, you just can't stand that he would just want to be my friend, can you?
He just wanted to chat. He was very interested in my artwork.
Maybe he likes my comedy. Have
Right.
you ever Sure.
Exactly. Mrs. B is she's always been one of the boys, right? And she's, excuse me for my nose. She's quite successful at work, and we were in Palm Beach, I think, for a wedding, or one of those towns, Sarasota, whatever, Florida. And she started talking to a guy, and they knew each other. And the next day, we were sitting at the pool at the Airbnb, and she gets a text, and I'm like, "Oh, who sent you the text?" Well, it was the guy from last night. And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, it didn't even dawn on me. I don't care. And a friend who was with us was like, "That would never happen with us. I would never let that happen. That would never. I would never permit that to happen." And I'm always like of the thing of like, if they're gonna leave you, they're gonna leave you, right? And in my experience has been when women do shit like that to annoy you, they're just trying to bait you anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, you know,
I know, but and my problem with that has been that, like, I can recognize that, but they can keep baiting me longer than I can keep not being baited by it.
I gotcha.
Like, I don't fall for it right away, but like I'm talking an hour and a half in of going like, great, great, great. It becomes impossible for me.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have that problem with her. It's usually pretty quick.
She's not genuinely trying to like ruin your day, your life, your fucking weekend.
No, it's actually fun being with a woman that actually likes me and wants to be with me. And you know, she enjoys it too. Look, she gets the, hey, I'm in my mid 50s and men still want to, talk to me.
Hmm.
And and I've got a husband I can go home with, so it works great.
Yeah, I mean, like if a guy ever were to steal your wife, he's doing you the biggest favor he could possibly do you.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. Exactly. I had to learn to get over being jealous just doesn't serve it. There's no purpose served by it, you
No.
know?
You have
And
to
then
hope. You have to hope that she leaves you someday.
right. The
Your
only time that I could
best case scenario is that this thing falls apart.
yeah, well it could also be like the worst part would be to like be on vacation, you know? Like you're at some nice resort for in the Caribbean for a week and the first night they hook up with somebody, right? And then you have to hear about that guy for a week and then following you around.
Yeah, then it gets complicated. But I still think, though, yeah. I guess that does sound pretty bad. I've heard similar stories like that. Like the woman just wanted to get there. You
Yeah.
know,
So
but gross, man. God, it's just thank God I've swore off women. I haven't been with a woman for 2 years.
wow. I don't know that I could do that.
Oh,
Um,
it's great. I didn't think
mi-
I could do it. I mean, it's been the first time since junior high, I guess, or grade school.
yeah. Thank God for the low testosterone that age gives you, right? Um,
Not an issue for me.
nor I. Um, I was complaining about feeling sleepy all the time, and I went to the doctor, and he's like, "Well, let me test your testosterone." I'm thinking, "Oh yeah, that's the answer, right? I'm gonna
Right.
get the testosterone shot, and I'll be big and bulk. I'll get some muscle, and I'll be a sexual demon." And he's like, "No, it's normal."
Oh, you were hoping it would be.
Yeah, I needed a reason, other than that I just sat around and didn't do anything all day long.
Do you get good sleep?
No, not at all.
I
I
have
am.
sleep apnea, and I
I
wake up numerous times a night. It's a miracle I'm not dead.
so I did have sleep apnea, and yeah, I got the machine and all that, and then I lost a bunch of weight, and the last time I went, it was mild. Like the guy was like, "Ah, you don't need to use the machine anymore." But
Give me the CPAP.
you can have it. Yeah, sure.
I'd
Be more
love to have it. What are you talking about?
more
I've
than
been
happy.
trying to figure out how to get one without doing a sleep study.
Yeah, but sleep studies are easy now. I mean, if you have insurance, they just do them at home.
I don't. What are you crazy? Of course I
Ah,
do.
you need to come back to New York where everybody gets health insurance.
Right, that's the way it is in New York. Sure.
I have somebody who works for me that every year she needs to take off for 2 weeks during the year. And the reason why she's got to take off for the 2 weeks is because she gets um, health insurance. She gets that like Medicaid, not Medicaid, but whatever it is, like Health Plus or some shit like that. And the insurance is twice as good as what we can provide, and it doesn't cost her anything. And
That's great.
you only need you only have to prove your income once a year, and it's during a 2 week period. It's like 28. I'm saying 2 weeks. It's 28 days, I think, is what it is.
So 4 weeks.
Yeah, and it's very funny because she went into the pharmacy next door to us one day. She had a prescription for Advil, like regular old mom and apple pie Advil, and
A prescription?
doesn't have to pay for it. Yep,
Wow.
because they now get
Aspirin, that's great.
they get OTC benefits. Actually, I think what it was is it was like a dental thing, and they give you the 800 milligram ibuprofen for like after dental work, and that's a prescription. And she went in, and the guy was like, "No, you're with your plan, I can just give you the regular 200. You can take 4 of them, and it's free."
Wow. We'll be
Okay.
right back with more old man shit.
Yeah, I know. So I know, coming to the stage is my good friend Will Heron.
Hey, Will.
What's up, Pat? What are you doing, man?
I'm just hanging out.
Hell yeah, me too. I'm chilling at a bar, a little watering hole here in Lafayette. About to have a burger. Want to hang out with the homies for a minute. How are y'all?
Well, good.
We're
I'm good.
we're good. We're
I just
good.
had a steak. I bought like a
Ooh.
ton of like. I have to buy a really good cut. Otherwise, I know it's gonna I'm gonna fuck it up. You know, I have to buy the best, like a fillet, so that I can like it doesn't matter what you do to it. Take it
Yeah.
outside, run it over with the car. It's gonna be fine. So yeah, I just had one of those.
Ooh.
So fucking good.
Good for you. I've been pretty good. Like I like to go on the weekends and get that 50% off sticker at Albertsons or Walmart. Any of those yellow stickers, man. I load my cart up with those bad boys. And I'll eat for like the week off those, man. Like saving like 20, $30. Hell yeah. So
Looks like you're in a pretty nice place.
yeah, fat people problems. But like everything here, like the food is just wonderful. So I kind of got to dial it back. You know what I mean? And like try to get some green stuff in there because jambalaya just man everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably not that great for you. You gotta have the green leafy shit. Although
Don't they throw green leafy shit in there?
Not enough.
There's a basil leaf or two.
No, it's more like shrimp and sausage and whatever meat they have. Yeah, gumbo too. Golly, this whole South place, fantastic. I know Pat. You're from the South. You do Tennessee.
I'm from a different kind of South, though. We don't eat that shit.
You're right.
It's biscuits and gravy and stuff like
Right.
that. That's about fried chicken and green beans that taste more like ham than ham.
Shit on a shingle.
Oh, I've never had that. I thought you could only get that in the Army.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, right?
Cream chip beef and toast.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I liked it. I could do it
For
fast.
you like that anyway, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
I-
The worst thing when I was in the Army that made me eat was cottage cheese. It was disgusting, and you had to eat everything on your plate. You couldn't choose what you wanted. They just gave it to you. You shut the fuck up. You ate. You drank a thing of water, a thing of Powerade, and you ran out the place. And whatever was on the fucking plate, you had to fucking eat. So like, some days were good, some days were not good. Like, yeah.
Take all you want, but eat what you take.
Like in basic training in AIT, you don't really get a choice. They just put it on the plate and you eat it. They fulfilled their contract. The food is livable on, and it's all the vitamins, and it was good for you. And it brought my weight down to like maybe like a monster. But like I'll never forget having to eat cottage cheese and like deviled eggs because I wasn't really used to that. And having to break them apart, and oh god,
I've never had a deviled egg in my life.
really? Wow.
Oh, you're missing out, man.
Never had a boiled egg or a deviled egg.
Not even like in a salad, like in a Cobb salad or anything like that.
You know what? I might have had like half of a boiled egg, like in a house salad or something like that.
You never just threw some eggs in boiled water when you were.
No, I don't like
What
that.
about egg
stuff.
drop soup?
Egg drop soup? Yeah, but that's that's a different deal,
Word.
isn't it?
I like trying to like fry up eggs and throw it in ramen and things like that, and try to sneak them into different type of dishes and stuff to make it expand. Like here, it's like what's in the pot, and like if the dirty rice didn't finish, I just throw it in the pot with the rest of the jambalaya, and then if that isn't finished, I'll mix it in with the gumbo, and then I got a big old pot of whoever knows what it is, but it's wonderful. Like, yeah, that's how they do it here, man.
Tell me you're single without telling me you're single.
That's fair.
Will, when I was in the Air Force, so we had
yeah.
food coming out the eyeballs, and I just
You got good food, you got good equipment, and you got the nicest barracks and everything else.
yeah.
When
we
I was
used
an
to-
infantry man, I got shit. I was out there in like a sleeping bag in a woobie.
yeah, not us.
Yeah, y'all, you're smarter than me. That's why. That's a good thing for you. I'm stupid. I'm what's known as a dumb person. You are not.
But I'm there, and I just remember. So where there's food, it was down south. You're in San Antonio, Texas, and one night I'm there. It was fried chicken, and I'm like, this is the driest fried chicken I've ever eaten in my life, and then was told it was because it was rabbit. And,
Surprise.
But they also made country fried steak.
For rabbit, it's pretty moist.
Do you ever have the country? You have the country fried steak down by you, right, Pat?
Yeah, country fried steak. But I'm not. I don't eat that either.
They gave us the worst that you could possibly have. It was awful. We all looked forward to it, and you have to, as Will said, it's take all you want, but eat what you take. You couldn't leave any food on your plate.
Actually, you said that.
Yeah, thank you. You can't.
Freaking prosecutor Dixon over here.
I know, right? He
Sorry,
always-
counselor. Do I need to bring my litigator with me when we speak
Next.
next?
Anyway, we got this stuff. It was shit. One guy went up to go get himself a glass of milk, and 4 other guys dumped their plates of food onto his, and we all took off.
Gotcha, bitch.
Did
Those are fun times.
Rabbit? When you eat rabbit, what you're eating is very similar to cat. That's what it's the meat is.
Oh, hey, sweetie.
Similar.
I didn't want to scare
No,
you.
we're on a
sorry.
stream right now. How many people are watching? You guys know? You're okay, sweetie. Come back, please.
Depends. If we include Twitter?
What's your name? This is my buddy Pat Dixon. He's kind of a comedian. This guy, he works in the Dabbleverse, so I mean, it's kind of a big deal.
Hello.
Tell me what your
Alright.
name is.
My name's Grace.
Grace
Hey,
does a great
Grace.
job. Grace, we'll take another shot of Rumplemans and another Beta Strawberry if you're
Perfect.
up and around.
I sure am.
Thank
Great.
you.
Grace is a lot happier than the women that Rob Saul meets at the bar.
Oh, dude, she's awesome. They had
so-
good people here, too. We're very lucky to be here. Very, very lucky.
All right, Will, we got you only for a little bit. Tell me quickly.
Actually, my stream's coming up. I got to set it up. I'll talk to
All
you.
right, cool.
Oh,
Pat,
okay.
thank you so much for
Later,
coming
buddy.
on, buddy.
Good seeing you, Pat.
All right, bye. Wow, getting Will Heron and Pat Dixon in the same place. Coup for
Okay,
me.
That's a low bar. Sorry. No offense.
No, not for you. You're one. When you first told me you would come on way back when, it was like, wow, I was really excited.
No, man. Everybody
I-
gets treated the same.
I love your work, and so, what's the latest in the world of Minnesota and Minnesota podcasters? Can you
So-
talk about it?
Like I don't want to. I'll say a little bit. I'll give you a little tiny bit. When the shock comes out, we'll probably slow down. But like, so my boss, as everybody knows, Jim Parker, as Aaron has put it out there to everyone, he's a lawyer. He's a fellow at a very prestigious law school here in the United States, and also a graduate of another very prestigious university here in the United States. So he's smarter than like 3 of me and you put together, Schmuel. So like, he was not happy because we got another email after Fridays. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Thank you. Mhm. So this dum-dum, because I mean, I knew it wasn't Aaron that pushed the send button, but I know he influenced it. He was a part of it. Like, you're in the devil's mix. You pick up what I'm laying down, right?
Right.
So, like, this person writes to my boss saying, I am not Aaron. And, this is not true. And then they said that they are a part of a media cabal, a media group that we don't know of, that are very powerful. And I think by 6 p.m. today, if they didn't take down the Nick Rekieta stories and everything else, then they were going to come after us. And we were going down, buddy.
Oh,
Never
my
be
God.
seen again. Yeah,
The
Mike Littman is the person's name. MikeLittman. But I talked to Nick, and like that's an anagram for Mike Littman. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I know it's bullshit, and now my boss knows it's bullshit. But see, the problem was in this last email, he blackmailed my boss, saying that if he didn't have it taken down, then we would all be in trouble, and we were going to get it or everything else. So my boss now wants a piece of him. So like, it's just this rope-a-dope that I've been doing with Aaron since the beginning. Just I know that they're stupid and not real, but they're going to keep going at it, and something's going to keep coming back. Aaron perpetually loses; he can't stop. So when your enemies are, murdering themselves, let them.
Right. That's
Yeah.
have you heard about the cabal thing? The cabal to bring down Brennan?
So like, I don't know, maybe they tried to take me down and so they couldn't. And so then they went after Brennan. I kind of thought about that too, but I don't think the same people are in the same group that went after me that went after Brennan. You know what I mean? Or what do you think?
I think it's all, whether it is or not, I don't think it's the same people, but I think it's very fucking stupid. And these guys, they always wind up losing in the end,
Yeah.
Because they'll do the same thing. I know Chad's your buddy, but they'll wind up doing the same thing that Chad does and then complain they had me taken down. They did. And buddy, you've been doing that forever. But it amazes me how much Aaron keeps losing.
Oh,
But he doesn't. I got to give him credit, man. He doesn't put it down, right?
no.
Like,
Yeah,
talk about persistence.
It's like when you guys get mad at me when I was donating to him. Like, it was so impressive how, like, he doesn't stop. He doesn't quit. Like, L after L after L. And I'm just handing them to him. And, like, eventually you turn that L into a lesson. You know what I mean? Like, it comes to a point when you're old enough to you realize, I'm not doing it right. I need to change or watch these other people or learn or something. But he just doesn't. He's like, nope. I had bought into the bit, and I am not letting go until the end. And all it's going to do is self-destruct as it has. And so,
his numbers are in the toilet.
Yeah, my buddy Nick, he's going downhill too. I really chose poorly in that one, huh?
Is Nick going downhill? I mean, no, not at all, right?
No.
But this is the false dichotomy of these assholes, right? It's like you're covering a story, right? You're not picking sides.
No.
And if one is going to talk to you and one's not going to talk to you, you're a reporter. That's what you do.
Well, and I don't even have to talk to Aaron because Aaron won't shut up.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot stop talking. So everything that he says in public is now usable.
Right.
Which I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I reached out to him as well. Because I don't want to use when he's like, I'm untouchable, ha ha ha, blah, blah. I wanted to use the same quote that like Nick gave me. I respect the court's decision. That's what a lawyer does. That's what an adult does. Schmuel, if you stepped in something and you had to address a court, you would say something like, I apologize and I see what you did there, and right or wrong, we'll find it. You know what I mean? Aaron, no.
I've never been on the wrong side of the law, but I've had to address the court. And the thing is, you address it with respect, and you also understand that a judge can do whatever the fuck a judge wants to do. Cheers. And it's like, I don't know. I would certainly be keeping my mouth shut. And he did plead to this, right? So he pled to the gross misdemeanor. And I have to, and he thinks that's a win, but I have to think to myself, if he had just kept his mouth shut the entire time, this whole thing might have gone away.
100%.
Right?
He had opportunities to do whatever he wanted to do. Like I tell everybody, I give you a rope. You can climb out of the hole you're in, and I want you to. I'll hold it, and I'll pull you out of that hole. Or you can wrap it around your neck and, sunset. So I don't understand. I get it. The worst, well, I hate to say it worse, but the craziest are like his supporters. Who like are diehard, like either they're too far in that they can't get out now, so they just gotta go with whatever Aaron says, or they're just seriously lunatics.
Yeah, it's funny.
Where do you go with that?
A lawyer taught me.
Do you mind if I bite into this burger?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, because
if I smack, I'll try to just tell me.
Don't worry about it.
I don't want to be rude.
It's nice to see you have teeth.
Thank you.
So,
look at this burger too.
It looks great, man.
It's giant, man. That the patty is like 3/4 of an inch. Like it's big.
That's
with
cool.
bacon and cheese. Yeah.
All right. A lawyer very early in my career said to me, the first rule of holes is to stop digging. And I watch Aaron and I'm like, man, he digs and digs and digs. Now, it seems like he's been getting away with it. Like he constantly gets away with stuff. But I got to believe that it's taking a toll on his soul. If it, self-esteem, whatever. And then the other part is, you only have a certain amount of luck, right? Even a cat only has 9 lives. And at some point, it's just going to turn on you, And so...
Where is he going with it? So it seems like he wants to be the heel and then play off the heel like the wrestling game. But, I don't think he realizes we're not wrestling. We're not playing the wrestling game.
Right.
You came up with all these own rules, and the Kiwi Farm and these people, they come up with their own rules. And they just say they're gonna just do this and do whatever they want. And I don't have to follow your rules, number one. And number two, you're wrong. And when you make a mistake, sometimes it's best to be contrite, walk off, and just pretending that, oh, I got busted because I was doing, drugs and narcotics at the Ricadas and blah 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 blah. He didn't take that on him. It was disingenuous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I don't know if you've seen the post that Pretty Antisocial put up of Gino's losing his shit on Keanu with Trump. So we were doing a show last night, and I did a show with the Aussie guy last night, and so we were going to talk. I
love him.
We were going to talk about that.
Him and that damn pineapple. They fucking got something going, man. They're awesome.
They
I love those two.
So we were going to talk about it. So I wanted to look back at some stuff. and I was looking back at like Keanu stuff, and a year ago, he was just Aaron was evil personified, you know, and now he's this okay guy, and I'm like, I can't figure it out, like yeah, but when he came out originally, when this whole
Are you talking about Gino or are you talking about Aaron? I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking about Aaron, but what
Okay.
Keanu said in that interview was, or clip or whatever, she said that Aaron was just as guilty as Nick. He brought his kids around the drugs. He brought his kids around the polykill. He brought his kids. But somehow now, a year later, it's all Nick, right? Aaron didn't do any of those things. And the guy's there's never been an act of contrition. There's never been I fucked up. There's I fucked up but. And
So Schmuel, I've seen them. Nick has all the DMs. He took pictures of all the text messages, all the everything. Like Nick is an attorney. Like all this stuff, he has everything. He saved everything. The conversation about the fluid, the conversation about being in the bathroom and, needing to have something taken away from him. Like everything was all documented. Everything's been. Everything, Aaron, he cannot get out of his lie. It's just when Nick decides to pull the trigger is when it, you know what I'm saying, is when it hits Aaron.
I
So,
know.
like, he needs to walk away from it, let it go, let my name go, let it all go. Like, he brings me back into this. I wasn't in it last, like, we were done with that. I thought we were good Friday. But not hearing me good, but, like, you wouldn't need to be hearing from me. Back at it again. So he's either using me for content, which I understand, that's part of the game for him. He's got 3 hours and he's got to beg for $200 every day. Yeah, show. So maybe that's part of it. I can forgive that kind of, but like, dude, all you're doing is like, you're not climbing out of the hole.
Right. And one of the things that I've learned as an adult and been sort of in the semi-legal industry is you don't fuck around with a guy who works or is a professor or is a lawyer, because law students got nothing to do. And, this is how they learn. And, so I don't think it's good for Aaron. I don't feel like this case has been very complimentary to the Minnesota justice system, though.
Oh yeah, well, shining a light on everything that's going on with that. But you were talking about like, well, what lawyers tell you and things like that. And man, I don't want to lose my point because you were onto something there. But yeah, Aaron is just potato dumb. Yeah, I understand. Like one of his high school friends, I believe, is his attorney, Hubble or something like that, or Humble or one of these dudes. So he's getting, probably young advice and things like that from a young lawyer and such, which is okay. I get that. But when you're putting your life on the line on stuff like that to go forward, that is
the guy who he went to court with seemed older and more mature. But I just I know so many lawyers. In my first wedding, my lawyer buddy was my best man, and when first of all, he doesn't want to talk about this because it's all so fucking stupid. But secondly, when I told him some of this stuff, he goes, I'd never represent the guy because he can't get out of his own way, or the bill would keep going up,
There's
But,
no way he can pay for his house, pay for his kids. So some of the numbers that I've kind of like have heard about, and I'm going to say hypothetically, because I don't remember 100% sure. Johnny makes like $600 a month. The kids get $750 a month.
right. It's look, the whole
You know what I mean?
that whole thing is insane. And look, I'm kind of a financial guy in the end. Like I always look
I get
at
how the money works.
I always look
You
at the
always
number.
follow the money.
Looking at the numbers, and you're like, these numbers don't work. And as Melton showed on his show, he went back and got his child support reduced, so he doesn't have to pay the state minimum. And it's like nothing makes sense. That's the part, like that. It's crazy. Now, I have a friend who she's a nurse practitioner, and her ex-husband comes from big money. I don't think Aaron does, but the husband basically had nothing, and she wound up having to pay him spousal support,
Oh,
even though the family had
gotcha.
all this money. So maybe there's money, but it's not in Aaron's name or, whatever it is. But
Yep. Like you said, he can't stand in his own way. He has to go on. He has to say something that shocks everybody. So they keep paying, keep following, keep being addicted to it. And I understand. I respect it. Like that was the part that I liked about him was the hustle and all this stuff. But he goes in the wrong direction and just blows himself up. And so, I guess we're here for it. All it's done is make me money. It's made our station money. Um, the clicks have gone up, attention's gone up, eyes have gone up. When my clip channel was monetized, I was making money off it every day.
it's not
So like,
monetized anymore.
no, I told this a little bit earlier. Like on BYB, I uploaded the Luigi Mangione video with the
Mm-hmm.
clock talking about the truth will come. Not him shooting anybody, but just some stupid 1.5 minute video that he put up talking about whatever he was talking about. Because I'm thinking it's like journalistic, it's history. I'm a journalist. YouTube is like, nope. And so they completely demonetized me. And so I thought it was like for 3 months. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll come back after the 3 and they'll take away the community guidelines. It wasn't a strike, it was a warning. That's taken away. I took the class. Let me have the monetization back. And said, nope. So I started a new clip channel that I've got like around 700 followers already. So ready to like get there, but it's just
Did they
kind of
take
sucks.
down your entire channel or just
No,
demonetize you?
just to monetize it. It's still
Yeah.
there, but I just why if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And forgive me for that, but
No, I know, but YouTube is like, it's just this
it's
very
insane.
fickle god, right? Like,
Yeah,
you have no idea what it's gonna do, and
you don't know what the rules are, and then like you can get like a battalion of people that don't like you, and that is their goal for like months to take you down. And like eventually they will. I don't think they did it to me. I think I did it to me. And then like my List Georgiana video got a lot of slack, but it blew up, so they left that up. And then like I had a video from when like these girls at Church's Chicken like threw down like a big old brawl, like fighting outside. Like
right.
one girl pulled a weave off the other girl and put it on herself. Like and all these girls work for Popeyes. And so they're like inside throwing down. I upload all this video, try to monetize it, and so they're like, nope, and they hit me with a bunch there. So I assume that the Luigi Mangione thing, they hit me with like trying to make a glorify a criminal. Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't even the crime; it was just to do with the little timer thing. But
Yeah.
there's no one I can talk to, and like you're so shocked when that happens. And like I was at like 5,000 subs, so I was like, what do I do? It hurt. It did. And those 3 months, I kept uploading and like thinking it would be okay in the end, but it did not. So, like I said, my other channel was booming. I've been so busy doing this crap, fighting with the Dalvers crap, and like work, and then being, bottom. I'm lazy. Like I work hard, but I also am lazy. So that's kind of killing me.
Hey,
But
hey,
regardless,
Jackie.
we'll get it.
Let
Hi,
me
Jackie. I'm sorry.
No, it's all cool. I just want to catch up with some of the chat. And this Mike Klitman has been in the chat. I know you probably can't see it, but he's been in the chat, going on and on and on. And I've been ignoring it, but we have
Make sure we have it recorded.
we have
Make sure you can't blackmail people through the internet. And I know Mike Clipman is a fake name, and we know, but
yeah.
there's steps they'll be taking with this. Again, you're dealing with lawyers. Like this person is not a lawyer; they're just a shitlord on Kiwi Farms.
Yeah,
It's sad. It's pathetic. But
Yeah.
and all it's doing is making me look better. And I'm having a wonderful life here, brother. Like,
yeah, I dislike I dislike both of these guys. Like I think what they both did was fucked up. Blah blah blah. But I will say that Nick kept his mouth shut, and he also fell on his sword, in my mind, to keep Kayla and April out of trouble, and he didn't try to capitalize on stuff. So he gets a couple of points for me in that regard.
Thank you. That's going to piss these people off. Nick fell on the sword for all of them. He said it was all his. He took the blame for everything. For Kayla, for April, even for Aaron. He took the blame. And what did Aaron do? What did he do? He ran off. He didn't take blame for nothing. Oh, it was all Nick's. Nick's the one who started all this. No. You were there and partying like a rock star. Don't
Yeah.
give me that crap. So was April. I'm not throwing Kayla and all this stuff, but bullshit. Nick took that up the ass for everybody.
Yeah, he did.
And his arraignment in the beginning, he was like, I am there. I'm their attorney. Do not let them speak. Let them go to me. And he was ready to go on his sword. He did go on his sword. He took that charge. Did you see Kayla and all them else get a charge? Did April get a charge? Or that card had cocaine residue with their name on it. Did April get a charge? Are we talking about April? No.
Well, yeah.
Why? Why?
Well, and they did. You're right. They did charge them, but then they dropped the charges
Because Nick took it.
because Nick took it.
So
So
put that in your pipe, then, Blitman. I don't look at the chat. Sorry, brother.
yeah, no.
If they pay and you want to read it, I love you, and I will answer anything for you. And if you want to read their stuff, I will answer you for sure.
I am not monetized, so
Yeah.
that's my thing. I am slowly. I started this channel in October, thinking it would last about 3 weeks, and we've been slowly growing. And I even had somebody do fan art for me, which was fantastic. I've had people offer to do intros for me. Everybody. I got to tell you, my experience in this Dabbleverse has been really good people, not shitty people. So
Don't get mad at me. Let me jump in. Hold on. Gummy Chainsaw, the Dabbleverse Wrestling. Holy moly. Watch those videos. Absolutely hilarious. Shout out to Gummy Chainsaw. Find him on Twitter. Watch him. He is playing his videos on Doom's channel. He does Dabbleverse Wrestling with the caricatures. I'm going to be the after match announcer. So I'm going to be like Joe Rogan. And they have my avatar and everything. And they're going to send me a video and I'm going to track it. And I cannot wait.
If I ever make it to one of those videos, I'll be the old man that dies of the heart attack on the way to the ring.
Just make sure he knows about you. He will get you in it.
So
Gummy Chainsaw. Put that in the chat. If the chatters, Gummy Chainsaw.
cool. So I want to go through some of these chats. Pretty antisocial. No, we just don't waste time on outright BS from nameless, faceless strangers. Be cool, and we'll be cool to you. Simple. Yes. And, there's no law that says I have to read anything. And I'm not here to take...
girls are sweeties.
I'm not here... Yeah, I love them. I'm not here to take sides. So I don't...
I am. I'm on their side.
Well, I'm not pretty antisocial.
I'm not supposed to be, but I'm on their side.
No, I'm look, we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about with the Aaron and Nick thing. The courts will do what they'll do. I think Aaron's digging himself a hole, but my dislike of Aaron does not make me like Nick, and that's part of it. NJ Ranger, I can always count on him for a great line, in toe deep, if you will.
NJ Ranger's awesome too. I love NJ Ranger.
This is Aaron or Gino or both. I'm famous, so what does it mean? What if I was mean to pretty antisocial? And we love Mr. Blue Sky, and you give us shit all the time. Taz was here, but she left because she's got to run Dixon's show. Mr. Blue Sky, hey Taz. Skip Mikey. Brandon Deft. I played bass for Toll on My Soul. And I'm missing that, but somebody will get it. And Brandon has come up recently as a new clipper and doing some pretty interesting shit. So
good job, Brandon. Keep it up, man.
And wow, we've got Jackie. So and now I know which one is Jackie and which one is Haley.
Oh, the girls don't play.
Well, you know what it is. I've been lucky enough that some people are interested, and Pretty Antisocial is on here pretty regularly. But I never know which one of the antisocial girls it is, and I don't want to ask because I want to act like I know, And
I don't pretend that I know. The way I see them as like not one person. I know they're two different people. I respect that, but like the Pretty Antisocial Girls is like one podcast. So when I talk to them, I'm assuming I'm always talking to both of them, and I want it to be that way because I
Right.
think that's the right way to do it, right?
Jackie says she loves you too, Will. And Pretty Antisocial, Gummy Chainsaw is the best. I will say that if Gummy Chainsaw, I guess we call it drawing.
Oh, you got characters, avatars. It's
They
so
were
awesome.
fantastic of these
Watch
two
last
women.
week's. I beat the shit out of Aaron. It was wonderful.
And
I was literally yelling at my my monitor at the apartment, and people around like upstairs, downstairs, like what the fuck, like, because I thought I was gonna lose. Like I was pissed with Gummy. Like I thought he was gonna do me dirty, and he did it. I pulled out the win. The teeth beat the toe. Ah!
oh man, so what's the chance of seeing you at Hackamania?
If if Melton will not charge me to go, I mean, I'll pay for my way. But like, as long as it doesn't charge me to go backstage and all that, I'd love to go to Academia, hang out with all the homies.
Yeah, I won't get. I had to pay, so
Mm.
you know, I'm one of those. I'm one of those people. But I actually, to be
If
honest
they
with you,
pay for me, I'll hang out with you, Schmuel. I won't
It's-
leave you alone ever.
thanks. Well, we'll stream. I was supposed to do a stream with Quad and Dave
Oh.
Sarah, and then Quad has backed out. So
Oh.
and Dave is always day to day, so I never know what the hell he's going to do. So I'm going to bring some stuff with me, and I'll stream. And I've been practicing solo streaming because I was really uncomfortable doing it. And
No, you're doing good, dude. I watched you when you started earlier today.
I've been practicing. And,
I was one of the 5. I was checking you out. I was watching you, because like I've learned when you like stream, everything goes wrong in the very beginning, and then it's like, what do you got to do to like work around it, and then like keep the show going, and like you did good. You did real well.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I don't
Keep it up.
I don't care anymore. I'm not embarrassed.
Good.
I'm not embarrassed by doing it. And then I got to tell you, these young fucks. So every single one of them, they all have mic problems. They all have sound problems. They all have video problems.
I ain't throwing rocks
it's
at that glass house.
It's always OBS's fault. It's always StreamYard's fault. But when I do it, it's a boomer problem, right? It's always me. And you'd have a lot of fun at Hackamania. Was a lot of fun last year. So T.O. Hank is here. That's always great.
Oh,
to
what's
say.
up, man? What's up, T.O.?
T.O. is a pisser. T.O. is the one that
Ask me Uncle Tank.
he brought my wife up to Kevin Brennan's room in
Oh,
Atlantic
no.
City for the pod, and
The shit show.
I was told I was not allowed up there. Like I was told I
What?
wasn't invited, right? And I get a text, and it's a picture of my wife. Well, it wasn't of my wife, but it was of Kevin Brennan, and I'm like, "Where are you?" She goes, "Oh, I'm up in the room," and I'm like, "They won't let me up there." And then Stevie Lou got me and said, "Come on up." So, but,
Stevie Lou's always been cool to me too. I like Stevie. I know people throw tomatoes at him, but Stevie Lou's always been super cool to me, and I appreciate him.
I have a love-hate relationship with Stevie. You know,
That's all East Coast.
Ray is
They
my
always fight
boy.
with each other. You like Ray?
Ray is
Oh.
my boy, and and they just shit on him so much and all the
know.
time that I'm like I got to defend the guy, and we lost Will. Well, we can handle that, right, guys? Schmuel can do it. I can do it. Just talking about solo streams, which is cool because I wanted to get off at 11 anyway. Yeah, so we got our little wait. That may have been a dox, so I deleted it. Peter Sky Parker. What the fuck, Peter? What's going on here? Jackie has a baby. It's definitely Haley. They're both on here. But to tell you the truth, I always thought Jackie was Haley and Haley was Jackie. And now I know Shoulder Girl, Wonder Woman is Haley. And Jackie is the cute, smaller one, right? I think I got it right. And but I love them, and I had to laugh because when you guys put up your picture last week of the two of you together, it was like the cutest picture ever. So you are pretty goddamn cool, And I was laughing because you certainly don't look like a couple of miserable old postmenopausal women. I will say that. Will, we lost you there for quite a bit. So your your signal is kind of shit. So I am gonna let you go. Okay. Uh, I just I feel bad, but I just let's say I hate to do this to Will. Hey, Will.
Yeah,
Your
can you hear me?
your signal. Yeah, we lost you for a bit. Your signal was
Don't worry
going
about
out.
it. I had to jump off and talk to my boss who had just called.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you want me back on? If not, it's okay. I can go.
No,
It's no
yeah.
problem.
You know what? I'm gonna be. Wow, that was quick. All right, I'm pulling him out. Um. So no, this is so I got to say that I love the. I am not into. Here he is back again. There you go. All right.
Okay. So
So
my boss had called, so I had to talk to him for a little bit. He may be coming up for a drink. So did you
oh
wanna meet him? I mean, I could come back later, or is my
yeah, I'm
stream
probably.
going back and forth, or I can just cancel it. It's
I
all
kind
good.
of wanted. I kind of wanted to pop off at 11 my
Okay.
time, so that because
That's getting 10 towards me.
Dixon's going on and whatnot. But I'll tell you what, I will. If it winds up running later than that, I will let you on. I'm supposed to have a couple of other. I think Luigi Greenberg wanted to come on,
Oh, sweet.
and we're trying to get Deb out of her sick bed. I asked her if she wanted to come on and do a proof of life video,
Yeah.
and so we might have her. But look, if it doesn't work tonight, we'll get it up, and we'll get it up. We'll get it together. We'll do.
Easy killer.
I want to do one of these nights when we do like I would like to have like you and Jackie and some other people on, and I'll moderate so we're not jumping all over each other. But
Well, it's like a Louisiana internet out here too, so I'm out in the swamp, so I totally get it. But I just want to
hey,
show you a little bit of love. You always throw me the link, and I'm always all over the place, but I want to give you time, man. I respect that. And
my last question though, has Lafayette been flooded lately or something?
so it's always flooded here in Lafayette. Everybody complains it hasn't rained in like 3 days, but like in Opelousas and some of these other little outlying parishes, it does flood. Even though they have very good flood conditions here, where they can get it out quickly, it rains so much here, and it rains hard. Like it rains hard and fast for a while, and then it goes away, and then 2 days later, boom, and it's again, and it goes away for like 2 weeks, then boom, and then we had this like once every 150 years snowstorm, and like we were dealing with that. Like it is wild. We had a hurricane come through like in September, so and like I do news, weather, and sports. So whatever pops off, like it doesn't just have to be sports, So they're throwing me into anything. So yeah.
Right. Cool. All
Oh
right,
yeah.
man.
Did,
I will.
did any of the chatters have questions that I missed that they want to ask?
There was, to be honest, there really weren't. We just had the
Okay,
clit
cool.
guy who was asking a bunch of stuff, and all
Oh,
really,
bring it up.
and
I got you. Let's
the
go.
no, it's all right. He was talking about the. I don't really want to. I don't want
Bring
to
it
give him
on.
attention. I don't want to give him attention. And
Tell him to send the emails. My boss is waiting. Jim Parker is waiting for you. He will speak with you. I believe 6 p.m. was the deadline before you got us fired. So, yes, we need to get in contact with you and your lawyers, Mr. Littman or Clitman or Lyerman or Aaron, whoever it is, or Kiwi Farms. Make sure you get back in touch with us because we're ready. We need to have the representation to send the paperwork to, coward.
yeah, and we know we're never. But these guys all threaten, and you never.
No,
and
no, no. It's
nothing ever,
okay. It's okay. Send it. Send it.
and
Send it.
nothing ever happens. But
Come and get it.
yeah, it's also I'm not about like if it was a real
No, no, no.
no,
Neither was I.
let me finish.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. If it was a real person, right, and that was asking the questions, no matter how shitty they were, I would ask them of you, but I'm not going to give a coward attention. That's just a personal rule of mine. So
they're digging. Let them keep digging, friend.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Let them keep digging. It's fine. It's cool. They can't do anything.
And they will. All right, dude. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye. I love Will, man. Will can talk. Peter Sky Parker. I don't know if I can stay on until Ray goes off, but we'll go a few more minutes. Has he gone live? And I should look my DM. I probably have a DM because he wouldn't know that. What do you call it? That I was on, because God forbid. I don't have a DM from Ray. Peter Sky Parker. I really thought that was Frankie McDonald. And it's very funny. I'm glad Will wasn't here to see that. Pretty antisocial. His boss, Jim Parker, LOL. It was a joke, PSP. So I've heard, I don't really pay that much attention to Aaron, but I heard him going on about Jim Parker, Jim Parker, Jim Parker, and I had no idea what that was. And now I know. What a piece of shit, right? And no, he's just Will's boss that Aaron keeps making songs about. There's an old saying that goes, "You decide to play with the tiger, the tiger decides when to stop." And I think Aaron's been playing with that tiger, and the tiger may not decide he doesn't want to stop, and but who knows? So Aaron made Pretty Antisocial, and made 2 AI songs with his name. What an asshole! He really is. He really is an asshole. And in my personal view, I think he's been very lucky to get away with the shit that he's gotten away with. But I think he's going to push the wrong person, and whether it's April or somebody else. But has anybody ever seen the TV show Big Love, the finale of Big Love? So, in any event, Big Love, Bill Paxton, Mormon family, and at the end, Bill Paxton's character, spoiler alert, but it's a 10-year-old show, Bill Paxton is murdered at the end by his neighbor. And the reason why he was murdered had nothing to do with all the strife and stuff he was causing. He was murdered because he mowed his neighbor's lawn, and his neighbor felt like he was disrespecting him. And I just have a feeling that, that's the kind of thing that happens, right? You get away with stuff for so long that some innocuous little thing is going to knock you on your ass. And let's not take that and, that'll get turned in the Dabbleverse. I shouldn't have put it that way. But I don't anticipate any of that happening to Aaron, but I just anticipate that one day he's going to find himself on the other side of the jail cell, wondering how he got there, thinking he didn't do anything wrong. And so the story is, Peter Sky Parker, from what Will told us earlier, is that Will had the news articles up about Aaron, and he's had his minions contact Will's boss to get Will fired, and they had until 6 p.m. today, or if the news articles were not taken down, that they were going to blow up everything, right? That Will would be fired, the boss would be fired, and that's it's just silliness. And then the alleged author of the letter was in our chat earlier, but I just chose to ignore him because, to me, like I said, he's a coward. I don't really want to give people like that a forum of any kind, and I just don't know. So I'm gonna a secret news group that we know. Oh yeah, this is funny. It's right, like a secret news group that is coming to get us. It's it's the elders of media, right? It's it's fucking crazy. Peter Sky Parker, who was it? I guess it was Mr. On here it was Mr. Klitman, and on the other one it was Mr. Clipman, I believe. something like that, or Lipman, but it was an anagram for Clipman or some bullshit. And yes, Peter Sky Parker, it's another cabal. Cabal is the word of the week. If this were the old Groucho Marx show, you'd win a prize. And so, yeah. Fake accounts. Yes. And so, anyway, Littman sends these letters, I guess they're emails, whatever, to Will and his boss. And his boss is an attorney. And from the sounds of it, a pretty big attorney. And he's ready. So, but the person doesn't exist. So there's nobody that can really be served for this. But Deitois, I will rescue Gordy and leave destruction in my path. Go, Deitois, go. Go, Deitois, go. Yeah, that poor dog. I can't, it's hard for me to picture Aaron loving anything or caring about anything. And it just, and dogs are, to paraphrase Dr. Steve, dogs are our greatest gift and also our greatest sadness because of their short lives. And yes, Gordy deserves a better human, Peter Sky Parker. And Aaron needs better audio. Peter Sky, Mr. Blue Sky. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. I must have missed Mr. Blue Sky. Oh, it might even be that steel toe guy at Peter Sky Parker star. Peter _ star. Parker. Yeah, so it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that it's gone on for so long. And you would think that he would want to move on with his life, but he doesn't have anything else. He just doesn't have anything. I mean, this is it. And he needs the outrage. He needs this stuff because he's desperate. He doesn't have any discernible skill other than talking. So, and he's not interesting. And this is what makes him interesting. And so he's going to continue. He's going to try to ride this wave as long as he can, is my personal opinion. And I can't stand him. So I just wanted to switch some gears. I kind of wanted to get out of here at 11, but I had some stuff that I wanted to get off my chest. And Deitois, I live in Minnesota. I can easily get a wood chipper. I'm sure they're around, but I think more than a wood chipper, Deitois, you could probably get a whole bunch of people to help you. Did I lose my sound? I might have lost my. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I have like a $2.99 cable hooking up my headset, and it seems to go in and go out. Yeah, so I just wanted to get back to some stuff, some Dabbleverse stuff, and to me, the Aaron stuff, and this is more legal than Dabbleverse, and so and the chance to have Will on was great. The chance to have Dixon on was amazing. Like I said, Pat's one of my comedy heroes, and I think that he's done enough penance that he's allowed to come back into YouTube world and our stuff. But talk to Pat. Pat's happy, so that's really all that matters. And on that end, but I want to talk about this thing that I don't know a hell of a lot about, but I do know enough to talk about it, which is Joey C doxing Kahuna and Mason in Portland. And I want to make clear my stand on things. I am 100% against doxing. I think it's bullshit. And I think only cowards do it. And so, Joey C, I sent you a DM today. I wanted to talk, and I'd like to get a justification for this. And of all the people to dox, Kahuna is the wrong one, the wrong person. Kahuna really, really wanted to help you. He really wanted to be part of that show. Kahuna was really into it. And however it got fucked up, it got fucked up. But you don't fuck with the man and you don't fuck with his family. And, I'm not a believer in, I'm not a religious guy, right? I don't believe much in karma and all that other stuff, but I do believe eventually what goes around comes around. And it just doesn't bode well. It just doesn't bode well for you to do it. And I'm amazed by the doxing. I'm amazed by a lot of the shit in the internet. And it's weird because it's not been my experience. My experience is you've all been pretty wonderful. And, I've got a few trolls. I guess that comes with the territory. But I treat people with dignity and respect. And I try to be like when I see a show that I like, I talk about it and I suggest people watch it. And anyway, I'm pontificating and I don't really want to do that. But I was annoyed when I found that out about Kahuna because I did have quite a bit of a talk with Kahuna early on, post DabbleCon 2 when their situation ended. And Kahuna was really bummed about what had happened. And he did not have a bad word to say about Joey. He really did. He was just confused. He didn't really understand what was going on. But the truth is, he really thought that he and Joey had something and that they could build something. But I think Joey's better at tearing down than building up. So, there you go. And I am fascinated also by this 4-month hiatus he plans on taking. It doesn't make any sense. And look, if he went 4 months and he went away and he got himself his shit together, that'd be great. But if past performance is indicative of future behavior, that's not going to happen. In any event, that was really, I think, all I wanted to hit on. Peter Sky Parker, Joey would be better without an internet connection. Joey would probably be better without an internet connection. But Joey doesn't understand, I don't think Joey understands content. I think he thinks he's a character. Very few people here that I've seen have been able to just turn on the stream and go live and be interesting. Kevin Brennan can do it. Whether he continues to do it is a different story, but Kevin Brennan can do it. I've seen some other people totally capable of doing it, but it's a rare quality. And, these guys forget that guys like Kevin Brennan have been practicing. Patrick Melton, actually. I said to Patrick one time about preparation. Preparation always seemed important to me. And Patrick was like, well, I don't really prepare for my shows. And I don't know how much I actually believe that, but the other thing is he's got 30 years of experience, right? So it's like the doctor walking in your room. He knows what it is because of all the experience he has. If he were in medical school, he'd have to break out the book and he'd have to learn it. And so there's a learning curve with this stuff. And I don't feel like Joey is ever put in the learning curve thing. He thinks he's something. And, Mr. Blue Sky, right? My personality takes up to 2 megabaud. I am around early internet, and I can remember like Rockwell modems, like 50 was amazing. And I can also remember using the phone line, and it would piss everybody else off because you would tie up the phone line if you were on it, or if you or if you dialed into AOL and you forgot to turn off the I don't know, it was AOL, one of those, and you forgot to turn off the call waiting, and somebody called, it would completely mess your shit up, and you'd get all pissed off at the person calling you, like, why do you call me? It's amazing. Peter Sky Parker, about once every month. Hold on a second. about once every month or two, I'll put a Joey stream on and immediately have to turn it off within the first second. Yeah, because it's just it's not good. And the deal is, it could be good. That's the issue, at least for me. I mean, you guys may disagree, but I think it could be good. And I also like. I think he's gotten such great opportunity from people, right? The Dabblecon 2 thing, the love from Tukey, like all these guys, like he had all the help in the world and and did nothing with it. Like, I don't know, man. At some point you got to understand that you have to learn, and you're getting offers from the best. Just fucking do it. And Sam Bibley, Melton Show also isn't good. I completely disagree. I think Melton Show is great. Um, and I think we often confuse good and bad for what we enjoy and what we don't enjoy, right? The Gilmore Girls is a fantastic show, but it's not for me. And so that's the thing with Melton. I think Melton does quality wise, production, content. I think, man, he hits every mark there is, and I'm really impressed by it. So, but maybe it's not for me, so I don't watch it. I'm sure that I don't know what Call Me Daddy, Call Her Daddy. Like that show is probably great. It's just not something that I would listen to. So I don't really get into these what I was calling the other day a false dichotomy. It doesn't mean because I like one thing I dislike something else, and it also doesn't mean that if I dislike it that I'm wrong or that there's something wrong with it. But I actually like Patrick, and he's always treated me well, and he's been helpful to me when I needed help. And and look, I went to Hackamania last year, and I have to say to you, I was very impressed at how he put on that show. And I don't know, I was impressed. I really did expect a shit show, and it wasn't at all. And the only things that shit the bed may have been a couple of performers, but it had very little to do with any of the negative stuff. Had very little to do with Patrick. It was done really well. I really liked the place that they had it in. I'd be happy to go back there again this year. Now, I've stayed at the Plaza, and I will be at Hackamania, and I will just tell you that the Plaza is not. People say, "Oh, it's a better hotel than the one we stayed at last year," and I will disagree with you. I thought the rooms in the downtown Grand were great, and I thought a lot of it. I liked it a lot. It was very clean. It was very nice. Everybody was really comfortable. Parking was easy. All the things that I look for in a hotel. So it was pretty cool, and it was small, which I liked because then I didn't have to walk like 7 miles to get there. And the Plaza likes to say they've been renovated. Renovated, but I think the renovation was in 2019, and I think it was only one side of the building. But and their casino was kind of small, but I will say their pool is awesome. It's on the 5th floor, so it's like a rooftop pool. It's salt water, and as Tio Hank will point out, if you're a pickleball player, they've got awesome pickleball courts with all the equipment. Now, I've never played pickleball in my life, but I can appreciate the ability to play pickleball. And my next door neighbor is a pickleball instructor and offered to teach me today. So, Chairman Meow, I'm not impressed with the Ricada friendship either, but it's just for Hackamania. Yeah, and look, let's not confuse friendship with entertainment and performance or whatever. I don't think these guys have to like each other to do it. And I think the Kahuna has the Kahuna, fucking idiot. I am sorry about that, Kahuna. And I think that Patrick knows on which side his bread is buttered, and he gave Aaron the shot, and Aaron didn't take it. And so he gave Nick the shot, and Nick took it. So, there we go, right? I don't think it was about. Um, I don't think it's about that. Let's get down here. My buddy Kahuna. I believe those are waves, and I was just discussing that you had been doxxed, and I was disgusted by that. And Chairman Meow, that's a little heart thing, I think. So I'm an old man, from pretty antisocial to you, and Sam Bibley as well. Hey, man, but I do listen. I do think that Nick is going to be met with some rough criticism at Hackamania, or at least tough questions. Which I got to give him credit that he's prepared to answer them and he's prepared to show up. So that's certainly not what Aaron's doing. Nick didn't deflect, and he's gotten back out there. And I will probably, if I have to pick something, I don't think I'll ever get over Aaron going on what I saw was Kino Casino, and Aaron shitting all over April. And I thought it was distasteful and disgusting, and very uncomfortable for me. I just that's not what a man does. It's not what an adult does, right? A child, it's like a child does that stuff. And it also felt like he was doing it to try to get her pissed off so she would talk to him. And yeah, the Kayla stuff. We'll get there, but he was treating Kayla, I thought, like, oh, she was his soulmate. She was this. She was that. I don't know how much of it I believe. Like, I wonder if he was trying to play one off against the other. But certainly the fact that he sent that picture to Gino, and the whole you did he did good or whatever, disgusting, just disgusting. You just don't you just don't do it, and not if you're an adult man, not if you're a father of 3 children, right? Because that's the part is you're leaving a legacy and you're doing this shit, and there's no way your kids are not going to hear about it. And I swear to you, and it's a subject that has not been talked about, but I have to imagine those kids have been bullied in school about this, that your dad is the polycule dad. My only hope is that those kids have the other guy's name, and that's not how you, but how do you explain this shit to your daughter? Right? And the kid she's like, what do you guys call that? Tween, right? Like, she's coming of age kind of thing. And the poor kid, the kid probably doesn't know who she is. And those notes that she was writing to him were heartbreaking, right? Because it should not be on a 10 or 11-year-old to make their parent feel better, right? You're supposed to be the parent. You're supposed to be the adult. And I don't know. It was heart wrenching. And I grew up with an alcoholic mom, and you kind of never knew what was going on, and you were always trying to like seek that love. And I just pictured that poor kid going through something very similar. Peter Sky Parker. This Little Piggy shows are rough when Carl is on, but I suffer through most of the shows I watch on YouTube. One in particular on a Tuesday night in April. Yeah, the Little Piggy shows and the old Point Dabble Point shows. I'm not really. I don't know. They kind of lose my interest when we get into start discussing the quality of Aaron's sign and its construction and stuff like that. You lose me. And there was one where it was another one where Patrick was discussing Chad's teeth or something, and I'm like, I don't really need to go there. So Yes, Mr. Blue Sky, right now, the same time as my show. It might even be my show. But yeah, I just anyway, that was fucked up. Most of what he's done to his kids is really what has me sort of made me dislike him. Because it was the other part of where he used his little daughter, which started that whole cup holder incident and everything. Because I think Patrick was teaching him a lesson. But he started putting up pictures of his daughter and what a great relationship he had in an attempt to own Nick. What a shitty way to use your child, right? And I just, I don't know. I mean, I can't get into a person's mind, but the evidence is that this guy just doesn't give a fuck about his kids. And, you know, if there's a God, God bless that slam piece, because she seems like a normal person, but I've got no idea how you can be with this guy. And knowing what you know and knowing what's happened before. But then again, I guess she was the one he was cheating on with the first wife. So maybe that says something about her that I'm not aware of. So I think I'm going to probably wrap it up unless the chat has any questions. Daytwa has an opinion. Sorry. Daytwa has an opinion. She's dumb as fuck, like April. Maybe, man, maybe. But you know, I this is what I thought. I thought that and I don't even know this stuff, but I just making assumptions without facts and evidence. But he cheated. This was the woman that he was cheating on with his first wife, and I guess Aaron went back to the first wife to try to make it work, and then it didn't, and then he was nailing April, and I just feel like, is this woman somebody who like was in love with this guy and he left her, and now um, she she has him back, and is she a fixer, right? Is she the kind that's going to fix him? Does she think that he's a fixer upper and she could make him into something? And the guy has had success, so maybe she thinks they can find that again. But excuse me, it doesn't really look like that. Peter Sky Parker, I think Slam Pig left him a long time ago. You look, the guy is so hard to read when it comes to truth or fiction that I don't disagree with you, Peter Sky Parker. I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let me put it to you that way. But but then again, when it comes to women and men, right? There always seems to be a lid for every pot, and some other lunatic will come along and do it. And look, Aaron, for all the fun we make of him, not a bad looking guy. He's tall. He's not fat. I'm sure in his part of Minnesota, there's a lot of big fat guys. He's a talker. I can definitely see him impressing somebody with his voice, and I'm sure he makes his show sound significantly bigger than it is. So I can see him impressing somebody, but I don't feel like it would take that long for somebody to figure it out. I always think that that's what happened with April. Was I think that he sold April on, you're going to be famous, you're going to be great, you're going to be all these things, and he had all this money, et cetera, and she got a dose of reality, and that was reality led her someplace else. They probably could have worked on it, but I don't know. I just, again, I just don't think he's that guy. So Schmuel is trolling us. I don't think so. Peter Sky Parker, he's a grotesque monster. And that may be true, Peter Sky Parker, but we're talking about in comparison to what's available out there. Um, so I don't know. And Deitois, I take a normal fat guy over that dog anyway. But Deitois, I know the difference between you and a lot of other people is you're intelligent. You're actually watching Schmuel's show, so obviously that's a fact. But uh, I, I don't know. I watched When I Met My Wife 15 years ago, and I watched all of her girlfriends who were like, "Oh, you're so lucky," but I was unattractive and chubby. Um, and they were all on uh, these fit social sites, and the guy had to look a certain way, and he had to be a certain height, and he had to do all these things. And 15 years later, we're still married, and they're still looking. So I don't know. I just and I've met some really asshole boyfriends that that they get points for being tall, which I guess is fine. But here we go. Peter Sky Parker. My thumbs aren't working tonight. I know, but I can read Peter Sky Parker, so it's all fine. Mr. Blue Sky. I'm that normal fat guy at Deitois. Yes, Mr. Blue Sky, Peter Sky Parker, and any other men that are around would agree. And Deitois. Poor Deitois in Minnesota. And Deitois has told me that when I made a joke about Minnesota, she said it was great. So I believe it. And the woman that I was with prior to Mrs. B was from Minnesota, had moved to New York, and sweetest people on the planet, man. So that good Midwestern stuff. But I guess there's always one bad apple in the barrel. Kahuna. A lot of Minnesota people are corn-fed, so there you go. MBS, you mean way often. All right, guys. Oh, look, it's Cupcakes Corner. Shout out to normal fat guys. There's still hope. There's still hope. Deitois, I fully expect at Hackamania there will be at least one normal fat guy t-shirt. And on the back it will say, Deitois says it's okay. So there we go. Still. And hey, pretty antisocial. You're still here. I just got to touch on this Keanu and Gino thing. This is headed in a really bad direction. And I don't think you all have been anything but honest in covering it. I think you've been insightful, and I think they're fucking delusional. And I don't know who I was talking to earlier today. I actually do, but I don't want to say. And we're talking about what appears to be going on with Keanu, and it's like she's a child. She just seems like a child, and the child voice, the relationship with her mother, it's almost like she never grew up, and you married this guy who's like 56 years old, and limited prospects, and certainly, he's 56, his liver's 83, so. I don't know where that's going to go. So there's a part of me that feels sorry for her. But at the same time, I'm like, what a bitch. To do to April what you did to April is about as evil as could possibly be done. Your friend needed you, and you bailed on him, and it doesn't look like anything but clout chasing. And the joke is from the other night that Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid was accused of befriending me for clout chasing. And I can guarantee you I have zero clout And if you're chasing Aaron for clout, you are barking up the wrong tree. So we'll close with that. But the Pretty Antisocial ladies, hell of a job that they've done. And it's the coverage has been really balanced, I think. And I and they've read the documents, right? They've read the documents. And when they're expressing opinion, they say they're expressing opinion. It's Patrick does what Patrick does for comedy and entertainment, and it's great. But these guys dig into it, and so it's just amazing. And the shirt stuff today with Keanu was my response was to somebody is that even pretty girls' armpits stink, and I I can't imagine. And the other part that having been being a New York guy is they're on a fifth floor walk up. Doing laundry, just doing laundry is a goddamn chore, right? Up and down those fucking stairs. So you'd probably wind up wearing shit over and over again. And Gummy Chainsaw, she's doing the same thing she accused Chrissy of doing for clout. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it seems that way, right? Like it seems all about clout, and she gets away. You guys, the Pretty Antisocial gals, have been the only people that I've seen that have really asked her serious questions and presented serious thought, right? Like you've asked her, whether in person or on your show, you're like, what were you thinking when you did this? I mentioned that clip from before where she said a year ago that whatever the Ricadas did, that Aaron was just as guilty. But now it's nothing. So yeah, it's pretty fucking gross. Anyway, I don't want to close on a bad note. So I'll close on a good note. I really thank you guys for being here. I cannot believe that people actually watch this show. I was humbled. My thumbnail from last night was AI fan art that Deb did for me. Deb was going to do a proof of life video tonight, but she couldn't, and she's doing well, but she's got a lot of pain. I guess she had back surgery, and there's a nerve running down her leg that's bothering her. So she was going to come in, and I asked her to. I told her we didn't have to have her on camera, but we wanted to hear her voice to know that she was alive. And one of you guys is hilarious enough to have sent me my AI. Apparently, if you type in "who is Schmuel Buckman" in AI, I actually come up with an answer. And I was blown away by that. And AI obviously doesn't know anything about me because it was actually funny. And I know Deb's not dead unless someone is texting from Deb's account. I talked. We went back and we were talking today. So Deb's not dead. And Gina Bobina, I love you because you're always one more hour. And I really do think you're trolling me. But at the same time, I'm delusional enough to think that you actually want that. So that's great. So before I overstay my welcome, I am scattered, as you all know. We went all over the place. We had Pat Dixon, the great Pat Dixon, and I caught him off guard. I'll get him on one night when he's the only guy. I never thought he would say yes, and I sent out the link to a bunch of people. So the great Pat Dixon, we had Will Heron on, and on Tuesday, another one of my dream guests is Vinny Paulino. So Vinny will be joining us on Tuesday night. I'll put that up. And Vinny just came off a very successful comedy special that he did Saturday night up in Rochester. But I think Vinny's one of the funniest guys around, and he's also one of the nicest guys that I met. And again, I like these nice guys in the Dabbleverse. You all have been very cool to me. And so I'm going to say tonight to day 12, I'll do a reverse roll call. Opie does them in the start of the show. So I'm going to thank Jackie and Haley from Pretty Antisocial. Kahuna, it's good to see you. And, you know, we could dox Joey, but he's got nothing to lose. And, oh, and my camera died. So this is my way. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but this is the gods of the universe telling me it's time to go. So good night, guys. And thanks, everybody. Thanks, Daytwa. Thanks, Gina, whoever can hear me. Thanks, Mr. Peter Sky Parker, Mr. Blue Sky, even the Clit guy who was here earlier. Thanks for coming in. Sorry we ignored you. Gummy Chainsaw, awesome work with the videos. And I love your caricatures. And the rest of you guys, Cupcake. We'll talk soon, buddy. Good night, guys. Love y'all. Like and subscribe, and make your friends subscribe. I need more subscribers. My next goal is 200. Bye.